Hello everyone, welcome to lecture number 3 of ServiceNow scripting course. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go to our scripts background. Yes. So this is lecture number 3. Previously, we have covered variables, different type of operators, type conversion, and string, and different type of string methods. Okay, so let's start with if else. So if else is one of the most important part of any programming language because it decides whether like what do you want to execute. If you want to execute this or else you want to execute this. Okay, so it is very important. Okay, so basically the syntax is like if condition, then do, else if it is not, do that, do this and do that. Okay, so now what is a condition? Okay, so condition, how do we define a condition? So condition, it is basically a set of rules which which on execution return true or false. Okay, so suppose what we want to do is whether, suppose variable my age, suppose my age is 20 and and variable voting age is 80. Okay, and also one important thing, suppose if you want to declare something that is fixed, we don't want this to be changed, so we can use const. Okay, so const similar to var, but it but its value can't be changed. Okay, so instead of var where keyword, we can use const. Const. Okay. Okay. Yes. So basically, run the script. Okay. Condition is okay. So it is throwing error like a red sign, but it is not an error. Okay. And generally we display const naming convention is in all capital. It is a developer practice to follow. Okay. So if we want to change the voting age again, it will throw an error. I don't know why it is not throwing an error, but basically JavaScript is basically vanilla, like plain JavaScript, and then we have ECMA, like ES5, ES6. So some of the ServiceNow versions support ES5 and ES6, but some are still on vanilla. So that is why it is not supporting. But you can try on your local compiler at const. You cannot change the value of const. Okay. So let's use var. Remove this const. Okay. So let's voting age. Okay. Now suppose if my age is greater than or equal to voting age. I want to vote. You can vote. Okay. Otherwise, you cannot vote. Okay. If I run this, it will execute to you can vote because this block will get executed because this condition will return to true. Okay. If suppose my age is 16, so it will fail, then it will go to this else loop. You cannot vote. Okay. So basically, if I want to show you, it is a basically it is a decision. Like decision, can you vote? Suppose this is our statement. Can you vote? So it will make a decision. If your age is greater than equal to 18, then yes. Otherwise, no. Same, this is a flow chart, and this flow chart we are depicting in our ID if using if else. So if it is yes, if yes, otherwise else, no. Okay. So same thing. Suppose now I want to check one more thing. Okay. Suppose variable my nationality. Nationality. Okay. The nationality is Indian. Variable approved nationality, or we can. So now we can use Boolean operators. Logical. Okay. So we can put and. So because we want both the statements to evaluate to true. So this should this should be true as well as my nationality should be equal to true. Okay. So run script. Because 16 is less than the voting age, it is evaluating to false. So false and true will be false. Okay, so if I change my age to 20, now true because for the AND operator to work, I have told this in the last lecture, for the AND operator to work, all the statements will be executed to true. Then will it work? Then only it will work. If I replace AND with the OR operator, so what it will check is if any of this expression returns to true. Suppose voting age is less than 16, so it is false, but it is true. So then again you can vote because it is OR condition. It will check only one true and it will evaluate. Okay, so this is the use case of if else. Then we have one more thing, which is if else if else. So suppose if condition 1 else if condition 2 C2 else if condition 3 then C3 else suppose default value. So if we have more than two choices, suppose if we have more than two choices, we can use if, else if, else if, and else. We can use multiple else if. There are no limit. Okay. But if and else should be like one only in a block. Okay. Suppose variable day day of the week is 2. Okay. So if day of the week is 1, print Monday. Okay. If day of the week is 2, print Tuesday. Okay. Then if day of the week is 3, Wednesday. Okay. Else anything. It can be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, anything. Okay. So if I execute this, it will print Tuesday because day of the week is 2 and we are checking it. So if the 1, Monday will get executed. If it is 2, Tuesday. If it is 3, Wednesday. And suppose I've given 8, 9, 10, like anything, any number. Because it is not 1, it is not 2, it is not 3, it will go to this else block, TFSS. Okay. So the same thing, if I like show you, like you have to basically, there is a choice. Okay. There is a choice, and on that choice, there is a decision. And based on the decision, we have multiple nodes. Maybe this, 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 etc. Suppose this is the node which is depicting like day of the week is 1. Suppose it is depicting day of the week 2. It is depicting day of the week 3. So that's how you can build your logic. Okay. So generally you will get flowcharts and you have to like observe the flowchart and convert those flowcharts, flow diagrams into your programming logic. Okay. This is if, else, if, and else. Now we can have nested if else. What does I mean nested is if it is condition 1, go to this. If it is condition 1, 1, go here, and else here, and else if. Just like this. We can have nested blocks. First if, then if. So this is the parent block. Okay, this is the parent block. If, else. In this if block, we have another if else. So this is nested. First, it will check for this, then it will check for this. If it is okay, then it will execute this. If it is not, suppose condition 1 is true, but condition 1, 1 is not true, then it will go to this else. Okay, let's uh, navigate it by example. Okay. So the same thing we can use. Okay. Suppose, okay, suppose age is greater than voting age, but your nationality is not correct. Okay. So you can print some specific message like, okay, if age is also greater than voting age and nationality is Indian, then you can print, you can vote. Okay. If age is greater than voting age, but nationality is not Indian, so you can print a personalized message like nationality is not correct. Anything you want. Then suppose you can print any of this like mm, okay, suppose nationality is Indian, but the same logic here. You can vote, but you are underage. Okay. And else, simple message, you can't vote. Okay. If I run this, you can vote because nationality is Indian. Okay. So you can vote. If it is my age is greater than voting age, it is not my age. Oh, my age 20, yes. So suppose voting age is 18 and my age is 16. So first it will check for this. So it is not correct because my age is 16 and voting age is 18. So it will not go to this if block. It will check does the nationality is equal to Indian? Yes, it is equal to Indian. So then it will check if age is greater than voting age? No. So it will print you are underage. So if I run, it will print you are underage. Okay. So let's understand this like a simply like let me let me delete this. Let's so nested if else work like this. First, it will check if age is greater than or equal to voting age. If it is greater than, yes. If it is written true, and so let's instead of yes, okay. Instead of yes, let's write what it returns true or false. Okay. If age is voting, then it checks nationality equals to Indian. Okay. Then if it is false, it will check same thing. Nationality equals to Indian. Then if it is true, you can vote. If it is not, you can vote. If it is not, it will print incorrect nationality. So if it is true, then it will check for. If it is false, true. I think suppose if the voting age is false, then nationality is Indian or not. It will not allow to, so it will print you are underage because nationality is Indian, true, but voting age is not greater than your age. So underage and false, you can't vote. Okay. So you can optimize this if else and do many more things. Okay. So it is just an example how you can use nested if else. Okay. Now let's go to ternaries or ternary operator. Okay. So ternary operator. So this is advanced, a little bit of advanced. So it has some of uh, specific rules to use, like a proper syntax. So you can write this 4 to 5 line in a single line. Okay. So how can you write it? So suppose variable answer, suppose answer. What it checks is you can first, if the age, my age, is greater than equal to voting age, it will check for this. And if it is true, it will go to this block. And if it is false, it will go to this block. So on the case of true, we want to check again. So you can simply, if there is on a single condition, you can write, you can vote, and you cannot. Okay. You can print your answer. So this is very like because my age is 16, that is why you cannot vote. But if I change it to 20, you can vote. Okay. So the principle of ternary operator is, so you have to assign this, or like suppose expression or condition, anything like nationality, age, etc., etc. It is a syntax, so it evaluates if it is true, it goes here, and if it is false, if it is true, it goes here. If it is not, it goes to the false state. And we can also build nested ternary statements. How we can do that? So suppose this is expression 1. Okay. Expression 1 evaluates to true. So we want to print this tick sign. If it is false, then we again want to go to expression 2. Now, if it is true, it is going to here, and if it is false, it is going here. Now, same thing. If the expression, if the expression evaluates to true, it will go to here, to the true part, and if it is not, it will go to false part. But there is no need to build nested ternary statements because it is very confusing. So it is used simply in a single condition. Okay, you can evaluate to true or false based on this condition. Okay, simply. Note, no need to build nested ternary operator. Okay, because it is confusing. Okay, now we have another type of if else known as switch statement. So as you can see, doing this, suppose I want to print all the 7 days of the week. So I have to write if day of the week 1, then. So I can like I can replace this in a very simpler manner using switch statement. So the syntax of switch statement is, suppose I want to pick day of the week. Okay, I have to pick day of the week one for now. Okay, then I want to print day. So we will initialize it later. Then we can use switch. Okay, switch and then day of the week. Just simply. Then if it is case one, if it is case one, or if we are using string, then we can also use string here. Otherwise, we can simply use number here. Same thing. Okay. Case one, it is day should be Monday. And then we have to break. Okay. Same. It is the number of lines are same, but it is more simpler in terms of readability. Okay. So case two, case three, case four, case five, case six. Okay. And case seven. Then we have our default keyword. Okay. Invalid day. Okay. So, yep. So I want to put a, okay. So if it is one Monday, if it is two, it will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. And if it is invalid, then we can print simply day. Okay. So if you can see, okay, I can comment out this. So you can see Monday because day of the week is one. So it will go to this case Monday and it breaks because we do not want further execution because it is irrelevant and we don't want to execute if it is a matching condition already. Okay. Monday, suppose if I change it to 6, it will print Saturday because case 6 is Saturday. Suppose if I print 9. Okay, so suppose the day of the week is 9. Then if I print, it will go to undefined. Okay, because default is 9 and day is not defined. Okay, yep. So what we can do is default and then we can put day equals to invalid day. Invalid day. Okay, so that's how we can use switch statement because it is better to read, better to understand, and more simpler and clear rather than to use this if else, if else, if else, if because it is very clustered and you have to write day of the week multiple times. So it is up to you what to choose, but switch statements are generally cleaner. Okay, so I think that's it for the day. Okay, guys, bye bye.